Hello viewers, I'm Ron Grant coming to you live and direct from Tortola in the beautiful British Virgin Islands. You're watching 284 Media. Early detection is by far one of the best ways to safely secure one's health. Of course, we're just coming out of Cancer Awareness Month, which was held in October, and that factor of early detection is very important. Joining me today are two professionals who are speaking on the Project D initiative that is hosted by the Rotary Club of Rotary. You want to hear all about it and how you can be a part of this project. All this and so much more after a word from our sponsors.
You value traditions. Today, you value music. You value education. Family.
I love you.
Service.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Love. Life. At Popular, we're committed to you and everything our community values. For the things you value the most, count on us. Popular.
Viewers, thank you so much for sticking with us. As promised, I am joined by Michelle and Margaret. Michelle is, of course, a member of the Rotary Club of Rotary, and Margaret is a member of the BVI Cancer Society. Michelle, you embarked along with your team on a very, very important initiative. Before we get into the initiative, how did you even come up with this concept? How did it begin?
Well, first of all, thank you, Ron, for this opportunity, using your platform to help us communicate this initiative, which we believe is of a great impact to our community. So basically what we did was to select a project that would impact our community, both socially, in this case, health-wise, and also in terms of economic development. And you may ask, well, how does breast cancer awareness can impact economic development? And that's the reason why we came up with Project D, which is detection for discount. And essentially what our aim is to promote the awareness and prevention. As you mentioned, October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and we usually see everybody in pink and actually the impact of the awareness of breast cancer. But what are we doing actually? Are we taking actions? Are we doing something to prevent the disease? And that's the focus of Project D, is to focus on the prevention. And in the particular case of breast cancer, would be through examinations, could be self-examination or mammogram. Obviously, mammogram is a more assertive procedure. It's quite uncomfortable, and that's the reason why we wanted to kind of award or create incentive,
yes,
depending on how you view it. But the point is to promote women and men, because that's another part of the education part of the campaign, to create awareness amongst men, which are at higher risk because, again, they're not aware that they're also susceptible of getting breast cancer. So that's also part of the education campaign within Project D.
Wonderful. Now, how does this initiative work?
So it's pretty simple and straightforward. So once you book your appointment for a mammogram and you actually undergo the examination, you receive a coupon that would then be stamped by the clinic as confirmation that you underwent the mammogram examination. Now, this Project D would not be possible without our participant sponsors,
of course,
restaurants and local shop that immediately onboarded. It was a very exciting pitch because, as I explained the intention behind Project D, they were already saying, sign me in. So we currently have 16 participant shops and restaurants, and further we'll get into that detail. And so once you get your coupon, you can go to any of these participant shops and restaurants, all clinics that are participating. There would be Eureka, BNF, and People's Hospital. Orlando D. Smith Hospital, and they will provide you with further information as to where you can redeem the coupon.
Wonderful. Margaret, I want to touch on yourself, of course. You are not only an advocate, but you're a survivor as well. Tell us about your personal experience and how you would say that early detection maybe helped you or didn't help you in your fight with breast cancer.
Okay, hi everyone. Thank you again, Ron, for having me. And
pleasure.
Michelle, thank you, of course, for inviting us to be here. As mentioned before, my name is Margaret, and I'm the coordinator of the Breast Cancer Awareness Club. As it relates to being a survivor, I don't really use that word often because I prefer to be a warrior because the fight never ends. Early detection is important. My gynecologist was actually the person who wanted to do the examination because my symptoms, I did not have a lump. There was no sign of a lump. She did the examination based on what I was telling her, which was I was really feeling a lactating type. For those who have had children and have gone through breastfeeding, on the left side of my breast, or my left breast, I felt as if it was lactating. So she wanted me to do an ultrasound. It could not have been a mammogram because I did not reach the age as yet, because that usually is done at 40. I was not there. Needless to say, I did not do that because I figured I'm young, I'm well enough, I don't have to go through that process. A few months later, she insisted that I do it. As a matter of fact, she dragged me to the imaging department where I was working at the time to get the ultrasound done. In doing the ultrasound, the technician noticed that there was something on the right side of the breast that he was not comfortable with, given that I was having the problem with my left side. The insurance approved the mammogram. And then the mammogram, it said that something is there that looks suspicious, that it could only be verified by a biopsy. So the biopsy was done, and that is where they found 2 types of cancer in my right breast. Okay. And that's where the journey began. So senior doctor is important. That's of utmost importance. Understanding your breast is, I cannot say how important that is, because I was paying attention to my breasts, even though I was way younger than the age that you would have been required to do your mammogram. And I saw the doctor, did my self-examination, even though I did not have a lump in the breast, then I still end up being a patient of breast cancer. So detection is important, and as Michelle mentioned before, you have the self-examination, you have your physician examination, you have the mammograms, and if you're at the age where even your insurance would not accommodate the mammogram, you have ultrasounds. But it is important to get started, and the first thing to do is to understand that you're at risk. If you're a woman, you're at risk simply because you're a woman, you have breasts. Men, yes, it might not see, we always talk about we having chests and we are men, so we don't get that. You get it too. So it is to be aware.
You said something, Margaret, that I think is extremely important. Because you were not of the age, you really didn't think or deem it important. What do you say to the women who are of that very same opinion? Don't
do it. Not only was I not of the age, I would be considered the first generation in my family to have had breast cancer. I was relatively a balanced individual. I did not do certain things. I did not consume alcohol. I was never a red meat person. I did not do birth controls, but I ended up with the disease. The point is that breast cancer, it doesn't care who you are. It does not discriminate. So if it is not going to pick and choose who it attacks, then you have to always be on the defense. And education and awareness and initiatives like what we are seeing here with the Rotary Club, with Project D, these are the things that we need persons to be aware of. And just to push a little bit, Ron, in the Caribbean, things like breast cancer is tabooed. It's a private matter. Persons don't want to talk about it, and that is where we find ourselves in pickle. We get ourselves in problems because we are not aware of the support that we can get. We're not aware of the tests that we can do. And mammograms still prove to be, as a healthcare professional, mammograms still proves to be one of the best method of diagnosing the disease. So if you're out there and you feel like you're 20, 25, no, you've gone through puberty, you're at risk. Be aware of your breasts. Do your self-examination every single month after your menstruation. Ensure that you get it done. If you're not having a period anymore, set a date each month so that you can do that as well. Because age doesn't matter. Cancer doesn't care about how old you are or young you are. It will attack you, and it does so often when you are not expecting it to.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Margaret, for sharing your very personal journey with us. Before we segue, of course, to the sponsors of this initiative and how persons can get involved, I must ask you, tell us a little bit about the BVI Breast Cancer organization and how persons who may not be aware of it could become a part and support the cause for breast cancer.
Okay, so the Breast Cancer Awareness Club is a support group that is stationed here in the British Virgin Islands, but we reach as far as Guyana, Trinidad, Jamaica, Canada, because our focus is on the patient. We provide psychological first aid for patients, family, and friends, especially those who have been newly diagnosed. And I like this initiative with Michelle because we are trying to prevent them from getting to us.
Yes.
We are trying to be proactive. We don't want them to get to us. But if you do get to that stage where you were proactive and you do end up with the disease, then we rally around you. We become your support system that is going to help you to get through the diagnosis, to the treatment, to the caregiving aspect of it, because your caretakers are also going to need support. And having had first-hand experience of that, the Breast Cancer Awareness Club steps in. And one of the things that we also do for our patients that reach out to us is that if you have to go to chemotherapy or radiation and you're in our area, especially those in Tortola, if you don't have company, you don't have a family member that can go with you at that time, we're there to hold your hand. We will take you to the treatment center and we'll stay with you. We also assist persons as it relates to financial support, and we do it in such a way that you maintain your integrity. Cancer is very expensive, so what we do, once you're ready to tell your story, we will help you to arrange a fundraising event that can help you to sustain yourself through that. So rather than just giving you something that you feel, bad about or you don't really want to take it, we help you to find ways of doing that. And we do a lot of mentoring and counseling with our team. Quite a bit of members that are there that have not just been club members, but they have been caretakers, so they have inside experience on that. How can you get in touch with us? Our telephone number is 543-3043. Our email is bcac2009@gmail.com. And once you call that number, we will have that conversation with you. Again, we're a non-profit organization, so nothing that we do we charge for. It is for you. We are doing it for the community because we want persons to remain healthy, or as healthy as they possibly can. So we're a support group again for breast cancer patients in the Virgin Islands, or if it's just anywhere in the world that a person would like to have that conversation.
Continue the amazing work. Michelle, tell us about our participating sponsors and how persons could tap in. I know there are QR codes, and explain to us who these sponsors are and how that works.
Yeah, sure. But before I get to that,
Yes.
I did want to touch on some points, very interesting points that Margaret shared. One of that being the age when you should consider getting the mammogram, because we have heard over and over studies that show that after you reach the age of 40 you should start. But interestingly enough, I did encounter with a few girls, young women, that were curious about if they should or not, and I just encouraged them, because how things have evolved nowadays, you have to be, prevention is the focus. Mm-hmm. And that's the focus of Project D, is in the prevention and taking action. So for the young women that are watching, please do, even if you don't have a symptom, encouraged by what Margaret said, please do book your appointment, your general examination, of course, but mm-hmm. also your mammogram. We understand that it could be a little bit uncomfortable, but it's a few minutes that could save your life, because nowadays we have advanced treatment. So if you do get a positive result, you know that you can seek the treatment, but the sooner the better. So the emphasis for Project D is awareness on prevention methods, and that's where we want to direct all the efforts. Yep. The other thing is that we believe that this is a sustainable project that we can do every year, and our aim is to do it bigger, to actually raise funds to help a breast cancer awareness club such as Margaret, help the clinics, and have a healthier community. A very interesting fact is that in our community, most head of families are women. Mm-hmm. So it's very important to keep our women healthy, and the best way is educating and being consistent, not only reserved for October, but throughout the year. So we look forward for next year having a bigger campaign, a bigger reach, and this would be possible with the community. So to that, I just want to point out that this is how you identify that the shop, restaurant, and clinics are participants. So as you see, it's labeled Project D, and it has a QR code. When you scan this QR code, it will give you information about preventive measures, not only the mammogram, but also a healthy lifestyle and some information, statistics about breast cancer, including men. So I do invite you to scan the QR code to get more information, and it's also available in English and in Spanish.
Beautiful.
So everybody has the information and gets that piece of advice that they need. Also, in terms of the initiative or the project itself, I believe that we can see the participants' clinics and contributors, also the shops and restaurants. Like I mentioned, is 16 of them that we have this year. We hope next year we can double or triple, so we have more involvement from the community. But basically, once you get your mammogram examination, you will be awarded with a coupon that would be stamped by the clinic. Then you can go to any of the participant restaurants or shops and they will provide you with a discount. And very important to mention that all the participant stores, restaurants, they were really happy to join in. They were really moved to support this initiative. So it's not only the fact that they're awarding you because you took the step a bit uncomfortable, but it's a step that you have to take. And they wanted to award that because they believe in the proactiveness and taking action to combat this disease.
Michelle, I must commend you on this very detailed and magnificent initiative and presentation. Of course, viewers, I had the honor of sitting in and judging at the Rotary Club of Rotown, where Michelle, presented. Of course, she was successful. Her team of women were the winners. And at the end of the day, again, we're promoting early detection, prevention in this case. I want to go back to the participating sponsors. As you saw on the screen, there are 16 of them. And of course, this is where corporate partnership and sponsorship comes in. And this initiative could not be possible without all 16 of them. We have persons like 7 at the Pier, 5 Girls, Legacy Auto, of course, BNF Medical Complex, quite a number. Alfonso Warner, of course, Caribbean Posh, De Castro Marketing, Caribbean Insurance Limited, Eureka Medical Clinic, of course, Peebles Hospital. We have the Loose Mongoose, Lady Sarah Farms, French Deli, the Sushi Bar, quite a number of participating sponsors. And we encourage you, viewers who are listening, to take a part of this initiative, be a part of it. Encourage you, all, both men and women, of course, to take your health seriously. Ladies, I want to thank you so much for your time today, and I do hope that this initiative continues to be successful and, of course, moving from strength to strength over the coming years.
Thank you so much for having us.
It was a pleasure being here.
Viewers, that's all the time we have. I'll see you later. I'm Ron Grant for 284 Media.